What is good, everybody? This is your guy CG, man, Craig Green, and we are back with another edition of Falcons Daily here on a Monday. Everything you need to know and want to know about the Falcons is right here for you on this channel. So appreciate everybody tuning in and hitting that subscribe button. Folks, I was looking around at the free agent ticker and got a little piece of news that popped up on my NFL alerts here that a veteran tight end had been let go, and it was now available to be picked up. And that man is Noah Fant. He was let go by the Seattle Seahawks on Sunday after 3 seasons with the team. Last year, Noah Fant played in 14 games, started 9 of them, 48 catches, 500 yards, just one single touchdown last year for Noah Fant. But again, a veteran guy's been in the league since 2019. Remember, he cut his teeth with the Denver Broncos for 3 seasons, and then he moved on to the Seahawks after that. So still a young guy, and, right there around 27, 28 years old. He's going to be 28 around Thanksgiving. But why not? Let's see if Noah Fant has anything in the tank. Could he help the Falcons in Kyle Pitts' absence? Absolutely. He absolutely can. Again, looking at his catch numbers, he's had at least 30 catches and at least 400 yards every season that he's been in the league. He topped out in terms of touchdowns. 2021, 2022, he had 4 touchdowns apiece in those seasons. Yards per reception last year with the Seahawks, over 10 yards a catch. So, averaging a first down every single time, why not? I don't see why we can't take a peek at Noah Fant and see if there's any interest to bringing him in. When taking a look at what Noah Fant made last season, when it came to his contract, according to Over the Cap, Noah Fant last year made right about his base salary was $2.45 million. His cap number was $7.5 million for the Seahawks, but now he is an unrestricted free agent, so he can sign with whoever he wants. And why not? Why not take a look at him? 6'5", 240 pounds. Big tight end, again, a guy who can catch the ball. And, I think we're really deficient right now at that tight end position, especially after Kyle Pitts, because, again, Charlie Warner, good player, but not exactly a pass catcher. Behind him, Felipe Franks, pretty much, and Tegan Couture-Tano, pretty much non-existent when it comes to the tight end position. So would love to see the Falcons maybe give Noah Fant a call, see if there's any interest, and bring him in for a look and see if we can add him to the tight end room. Looking at the defensive line, y'all, there's a big log jam there when it comes to guys who are on the line and who could start or who can fit in to what spots. So we're taking a look at several players. Ruka Rororo, of course, Morgan Fox, one of the newer additions. TQ Graham's been there for a while. Kentavious Street coming back again. He re-signed with the Falcons in the offseason. Brandon Dorlus, again, one of our draft picks. You could add in other names as well to that we didn't include in there. When we're looking at defensive players. Again, we didn't mention Zach Harrison, LaCale London, Simeon Barrow. So these are other players who are going to be vying for some of these defensive line spots. If we had to project who was going to start up there, you got to pencil David Onyemata in there. If it's a 3-down set up front with the defensive line, you got to picture Onyemata. Then after that, probably end up having to be perhaps Zach Harrison and maybe Kentavious Street, or maybe Ruka Rororo, depending on how they want to go. But I think we have some flexibility when it comes to who can slide into those spots. But the one thing I know for certain is that there's going to be a hell of a lot of competition. There's not a ton of spots out there for these guys to fit into and to get a bunch of snaps. We're going to be having to possibly cut some good football players. So I'm interested in the battle at defensive line and how that depth chart's going to fill out, and how we move forward, how we look without Grady Jarrett. It's a whole new era without Grady Jarrett on the team. So who's going to be that guy or those guys, plural, to be able to step up, fill those shoes, and keep the production up and not really lose anything? Again, because Grady was a guy who commanded double teams, triple teams, and don't really know if we have anybody like that up front right now. So is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? If they don't respect our guys up front and they can beat single coverage, or single, one single man in front of them, then eventually they're going to have to re-rack and figure some things out, because that's what you want to see. You got to have everybody winning up front. You got to have everybody doing their 1/11th on the defensive side, because when somebody doesn't do their job, the whole play just goes all the way to hell. So next look here, I have a really interesting something I was really pondering over right now. Something interesting I've been thinking about. Now, I'm sure you guys remember back in the 2022 NFL draft, we had not one or 2022 NFL draft, yes, we had not one but two third-round draft picks. One of those was D'Angelo Malone. The other one was Desmond Ritter. And if you remember correctly, Desmond Ritter was our original third-round pick. D'Angelo Malone was a player that we drafted with the third-round pick we acquired from the Indianapolis Colts in the Matt Ryan trade. So which was the better third-round pick for us, y'all? Was it Desmond Ritter or was it D'Angelo Malone? I was thinking about that. And the reason why I brought it up, the news broke over the weekend that Desmond Ritter has signed with the Cincinnati Bengals. So he will be playing in Cincinnati. Remember, he was with the Falcons, then he was with the Raiders, and now has found his way to Cincinnati. So good for Desmond. And last year with the Raiders, he only started once. He lost the game, and that was actually ironically against the Falcons. He lost that game. As a starter in his career, he's 8-10 as a starter. He's just amassed over 4,000 yards in 3 seasons, 16 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. So again, more touchdowns than interceptions, but not a quick study. It wasn't coming around to what we needed at the quarterback position at the time. So Desmond found himself on the street, and we ended up trading him to the Raiders. He ended up going to Arizona, didn't play for them at all, and then ended up with the Raiders, and now he's with the Cincinnati Bengals. So, which was the better third-round pick? When you look at D'Angelo Malone, okay? Malone's been in the league since 2022. Largely a special teams player. Last year he had a career high 2 sacks. 16 tackles and 3 tackles for loss. So last year was his best year if you're going by sack number as a pro. 2022 when he came into the league, again, just 1 sack, had 29 tackles that year. So I don't know. You guys tell me who you think was the better third round pick. Hard to say, because again, we didn't get much production out of D'Angelo Malone, up until, mostly a special teams guy, reserve player. And again, Desmond Ritter, 2-2 in his first season with the Falcons, 6-7 the season after that. So I'm going to give the nod to Desmond Ritter, even though he's no longer with the team. I think he was the better of the third round picks. He's found his way basically on 4 NFL teams now. I know sometimes that doesn't really say much when it comes to continuity and all that other thing, but it does speak to his work ethic and what he puts on film, and teams are willing to give him a chance. So I think that was a good pick by Terry Fontenot. Even though it didn't really work out for Atlanta, it was a good pick altogether. One thing I want to see everybody continue to do is participate, chime in, let me know what's on your mind. Continue to rise up and sound off in the comments, y'all. Really appreciate everybody who's been chiming in and giving me their 2 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents, whatever. It's all to the good. So, whatever you guys want to talk about. Remember, we've got a few days until training camp. So let's see. Let me see what's on your mind, okay? Once training camp comes, we'll have plenty of things to look at, plenty of things to discuss. But in these couple of days left up until training camp, chop it up with me. Let me know what's on your mind. All right, everybody, gonna get up out of here and let y'all enjoy the rest of your Monday. Please give Fan Arch Co a follow, as of course FANARCHCO, and they're up there in the top left corner. You can give me a follow as well if you'd like to. Craig G Sports, CRAIG, the letter G, and the word sports. And we will see y'all on Tuesday. Harper's not here today; it's just me. So see y'all tomorrow. Sayonara and buenos noches.